Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vegains podcast, joined by Maddie.
Hello.
Finally.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm excited.
Thank you so much for being here in Bali, that we're at the same time here in Ubud, and that you agreed to be on my podcast because I got lots of questions. I have lots of questions and my community has lots of questions. So today we're diving deep into Maddie's lifestyle, what she's all about. And just lean back, you're in for a ride because we get some exciting questions. So shall we jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, because I got many questions like...
Yeah, let's just get down to it then.
But many questions like, is she living in Bali or just vacation? Like people don't know your lifestyle because... We met at VegFest in October 2018, and I went back to Germany, but you didn't go back to Canada. No. You haven't been home since then, right?
We haven't been home at all.
Explain yourself. Why haven't you been back to mommy and daddy?
So for like the past 3 years, we don't like the Canadian winter. So we skip the winter. And we like to travel, and just because we have that freedom, because we make all of our income online, we have the freedom to work wherever there's Wi-Fi. So we choose to live in tropical places while we can, while we don't have, a house or any ties down to Canada, we have the freedom. So yeah, I mean, we've been to Bali before, so we loved it. We came back here. We were just in South Africa. That's where we were the past 3 months before or after London. And yeah, we just kind of live the digital nomad life. But we are going back home in May, just right as it warms up.
Well, no, it's falling the microphone. If you don't know, we're here or you see it, if you're on YouTube, we're on the couch and on the sofa, and the podcast mic is on a super nice coconut bowl, by the way. It's just pieces of coconut together. Anyway, so now they know you're from Canada, and you don't travel year-round, you just escape the winter, which is long, which is rough, which is freezing cold in Canada. Like, how long is the winter? When does it start to get nasty?
So usually it snows. The first time it ever snows is usually right around my birthday, so the middle of November. And then October's quite chilly, but it's bearable. And then it lasts all the way until like April. Like last year we had an ice storm in April, so it's quite long.
And for how many years have you escaped the winter now?
So this is our 3rd year.
Oh wow, and before that you just coped with the winter in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I was working a 9-to-5 job, wasn't doing YouTube, so I didn't really have a choice. And, after living however many, 20 plus years in the winter, we were like, let's go somewhere tropical, let's get out of this.
You probably got a thick skin experiencing that, because you told me how cold it gets in the winter.
Yeah.
Like minus 10, 20, 30 degrees.
Yeah, most days it's like in the negatives, but like some days we have really cold days where it's like negative 40 Celsius. I'm talking Celsius,
that
people.
Is so insane.
With the wind chill.
So for all my German friends, you know nothing. We are like 0 degrees, a couple plus degrees. That's
got it
nothing.
Easy.
Yeah, but still, it's not that pleasant to spend winter there. So.
I'm a baby when it comes to the cold now because I've spoiled myself so much living here. So
I can imagine. So we'll join your lifestyle now. Escape the winter. I promised myself the next years no winter in Germany. But now you told me, and I don't know if that is a secret, that
I
next
haven't told
winter.
anybody yet.
Do you want to reveal it on the podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because
actually last night we just signed the lease and we are leasing a place back in Canada for an entire year. So we are bearing the winter this coming year. But I'm excited. I'm excited to just like show people that side of my lifestyle because I haven't really, since I've done YouTube, we just travel and I'm like always in summer climate. So I think it'll be fun to show people that side of my lifestyle and just, be home for the holidays. Christmas at home is so much nicer in the snow, so.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single picture of you in snow, so.
I think I have like one and that's it.
So yeah, you heard it. Maddie's going back home for an entire year and going back on track to all your routines and nice kitchen, nice recipe videos, and just what are like the biggest motivations to do that?
Right now, I think just because we have been living this lifestyle where we just jump from place to place, we're just really craving structure and routine, especially now because we have like 3 YouTube channels. I have my fitness channel, and that's something that I'm really becoming really passionate about, and I want to be able to provide as much content on there as possible, and jumping from place to place is just it's not the best. So we just kind of are craving routine and structure and just having that place that we call home, and we can just work and smash out workout videos and just for a year. Who knows what'll happen after.
Yeah, I'm excited for your review after that, because I had that my entire life. Mostly in Germany or places that are like home, like in Austria or a vacation house, but only little vacation. And I loved it, but I'm just so used to it. So now I'm going out of my comfort zone and travel.
Yeah.
But I already noticed that it's hard to produce that much, like the content I'm used to producing, like recipe videos and stuff. I cannot produce that, and that is what made me grow the most, like my food channel. So I will see now how for example, my food channel grows just posting pictures at restaurants and stuff. So I don't know. So
that kind of happened with me as well. Like when I'm home in the summer, I'll focus more on doing like food stuff, and then like winter comes and it's like all travel videos and me eating out. And you know, some people like it, but then there's also like a majority of my audience that is like, we want like more food videos, recipe videos, like just stuff to like help them and provide value to them. And I don't
that's
know.
interesting.
It's a good balance.
Do you think you grow more your social media when you travel and like at restaurants and cool locations, or when you do recipe videos like your awesome what was it, cinnamon rolls?
Yeah.
I watched that video and I'm gonna make that, but I didn't so far, but I will. They look so amazing. But where do you think you grow more?
My channel really started to grow when I started doing recipe videos. Like that's how my channel really blew up, was when I was in Australia. We were living in Adelaide for like 7 months, and that's when I really started going ham on YouTube. And we weren't really doing anything like fun, like going out to the beach or anything. We were just like making food in the kitchen, and that's when my YouTube channel blew up. So a lot of people know me for my recipes. I have 2 like recipe ebooks now. People really love my recipes. And so I think that's really, and that's what I really want to like focus on now. That's like what I'm craving to do, is just get back in the kitchen, get creative, and just like really help people with that, you know?
And that is what veganism is all about. What you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is what makes you vegan. And especially at the beginning, people are looking for those go-to recipes they can make at home. Because it's nice to see all the options, the restaurants around places, but people who don't come to Bali, they just want how to make a fluffy porridge, how to make like something special like cinnamon rolls. Nice. So I'm excited this year, because in your home you also have an area where you do home workouts.
Yes.
Because Maddie, if you don't know, she also has a fitness channel. It's called Maddie Fitness or
Mad
Maddie
Fit.
Fit, right? Yeah. Mad Fit. Mad Fit.
Like I'm mad fit, but like Maddie Fit.
That makes a lot of sense. And it exploded. It just reaches 100,000 subscribers. And I think when you're in Canada, this will just explode even more.
Yeah.
So I'm
really
excited for that.
excited.
All right. Do you want to elaborate? Oh no, we just covered that. We also covered that. We just were flowing. That was about your place in Canada. You have traveled quite a lot. If you couldn't live in Canada, what are your 3 top places you could see yourself living with Kaya? Germany, even though you haven't been there.
I have once, but like I didn't really travel within Germany. South Africa for sure. Hawaii.
South Africa, you mean Cape Town?
Yeah, Cape Town, South Africa. Hawaii.
Hawaii?
For sure.
Have you been there 100%. A couple times?
Been there once for 1 month in Kauai, and it just felt like home. Like I cried getting on the plane to go home because I didn't want to leave.
How long did you stay?
Just 1 month.
And you don't think you get like this being sick of an island, it's too small, you think you can really live there?
I really enjoy that kind of lifestyle, like small town, just like you kind of know everybody. The nature there is just like awesome. I just feel like it really fits my lifestyle. I don't know. I only stayed there for a month, so who knows? Maybe I could get island fever, but...
And after Bali, you're going to Hawaii again, right?
Yes, we're going to Hawaii middle of March, so yeah.
Okay.
Those are my top 2. I don't have a third place.
You don't have a third place?
No, I don't think so.
What about Bali?
I don't think so. I love Bali, but I can't handle traffic and being on a motorbike all the time. It's just not.
Yeah, it
too
stresses
stressful.
you out.
Yeah.
It's just too on a daily basis. So much. What is it called? Stress hormone in English.
Cortisol.
Cortisol. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. The infrastructure and I love to ride my bicycle and also the pollution.
Yeah.
On the streets.
Sitting in traffic, you're just breathing in all the exhaust.
I don't know how it is in Hawaii, but I imagine that like the roads are really mostly quiet. You can ride your bicycle if you want.
Yeah, that's what we did when we were there the last time. I just rode my bike all around the island. I didn't have a car. It was perfect.
You're not stressed out?
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I have them both on my list. Canada and Cape Town. Check.
Hawaii and Cape Town, but you can come to Canada too.
Oh, yeah, I mean Hawaii. Oh, I've been to Canada and I loved it. Only in the summer.
Yeah.
I've been to Whistler, to Vancouver,
Beautiful.
to Toronto. Your nature is just next level. Because in Germany, we don't really have real nature because most parts there was already something else and nature regrew, but you have like untouched nature.
Yeah.
Just kilometers of untouched nature that has been there forever, and you just feel that. Like your lakes are like the ocean for us.
Yeah.
These are gigantic.
Yeah, I love the lakes. We're actually going to be living really close to a lake in Ontario, so I'm excited.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is your social media schedule? About how often do you upload to YouTube and Instagram?
I mean, because I'm traveling, again, like I just want structure and routine. So right now I don't really have a routine. My main channel, I upload once every 3 days.
That's a lot.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's once every 4 or 5 days.
That's still good.
I make content when I want to make content. Before I felt like I really had to push myself to make content, and then I was putting out stuff that I wasn't super happy about. Instagram, I try to upload every second day or every day if I have content to post. MadFit Instagram, I try to upload at least every day. And my MadFit YouTube, which is where I post all my home workouts, I post every 2 days, every 3 days.
Wow. And have you been that consistent since you started?
I was way more consistent when I first started.
And would you agree that is what many people are lacking, that consistency, that they're so motivated and at some point they just stop and that's why they're not growing that much?
Definitely. Anytime somebody asks me like, what are your like top tips to grow my social media? And like number one is like, always be yourself, be genuine, like create content that you want to create and also something that's going to provide value to someone, but also you have to be consistent. You have to always be in somebody's feed. You have to like stay up to date with your community of people. Otherwise they're going to forget about you. And then you post a video and they're like, this person doesn't really post that often. Like, yeah, consistency is key with everything, with fitness, with diet, everything. Consistency is key.
Couldn't agree more. Those two are big ones. Often I see channels and the last upload is like 6 months and you're always on point, like last video a couple days ago and that's so nice. So now the next question is, do you sometimes struggle to create new content? And if so, what do you do to get inspired?
Definitely. I'm a human being, you know? Everybody has down days, everybody has days where you don't feel creative. And that's something that is like my goal this year is to, I'm an overthinker. So like, say I have like, oh yeah, I'm going to make a video about that. And then I'm like, that's like the night before. And then that day I'm like, I've overthought it too much. I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like nobody's going to really care about that or whatever. And my motto this year is don't think, just do. Just, just share, just do it. And that's what I'm really focusing on. But if I am struggling with like motivation or something, with anything, it always comes down to gratitude. Like, look at my life. Look at what I get to do for a living. Look at all of these people that really are truly invested in me and, are supporting me. Like, I need to not do it for myself, not, like drop the ego and just, provide something for them. Even if it's just like, a day where I don't feel like I'm doing something, people just want to see you. People just want to like connect with you. So that's what I always have to think about.
Drop the expectations.
Yeah.
And just do more, just do it, and then something will turn out.
Yeah.
And don't overthink.
Even if it doesn't turn out, that's another tip that I say to people if they're like wanting to create a YouTube channel, just make the video. Like, don't think about it, just make the video. And then if you're editing it and you're like, I don't really like it, didn't turn out that well, it's okay, you're practicing. Just do it, just make it. And
what I noticed that often I don't feel like, it wasn't that good, but then when I'm in the edit, there's the magic and you can, and I'm actually, wow. Sometimes I feel like, today I've vlogged like about nothing, but then in the edit, it was a super fun day. And just as you said, just do it, just start, just create something and always follow your passion, follow your highest excitement, do the things you're passionate about, because where you put energy, where you put time in, more will manifest. And if you put the time and energy into something you're passionate about, you do those things more. So you actually do the things you love and make a living of that. If you do go around things you don't really like, then guess what? You get more of that. And then you spend your time with things you don't like, weird vibes with people you don't really like to attract you. So stay true to yourself and follow your passions. So preachy.
Amen.
Okay, now we get into your relationship, because you and Kyle have been together forever. But how long actually?
It's coming up on 5.5 years.
Wow. Is he your first real boyfriend?
I would say so. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 23. I had to think about that. I have had boyfriends before, and like semi long term, but like definitely nothing as long as this.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And now, and since when did you start to work together?
So it would be like 2.5, 3 years into our relationship. That's when I started YouTube. It was right as we like started traveling. That's when I started doing YouTube, and Kyle was the one who like got me to do YouTube, and yeah, it just kind of like started from there, right when we started traveling.
Nice. Okay, so now the question, because I love that. I would love to find a partner to work together, to social media, helping each other. And my question is now, how is it working full time with your boyfriend since around 3 years? Was there any point where it threatened your relationship?
I don't think, no. It's amazing getting to be with him every single day. Like, we both used to work full-time jobs. We would only see each other on weekends, and we would literally say to each other, like, wouldn't it be so cool if we could spend like every day together, just like doing something that we love to do together? And then it happened, and now we're just so grateful that we get to spend every day together. Of course, we get sick of each other. We get in little arguments over stupid things, but nothing ever anything like major. We're very much so like on the same page about our goals and like our future, and like that's something that I've never felt with any other human being. So it's just like really cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's because you spend so much time with your work, and thus you spend so much valuable time together and create something together, and you're both so passionate to grow that. And yeah, I don't believe in that many people say, don't work together with your family and friends on a business. I don't think so. If you're both passionate about something, and it can work greatly.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to see you as a team. And it's like you're together. This channel, it wouldn't be with the same one without Kyle. It's just
Definitely
so nice.
not.
Yeah. So
and like the way that we started it, it wasn't like with the intention of like, this is going to become a business, this is going to become our lifestyle. We're just like, let's go travel together. And he's like, you'd be really good at YouTube. And we're really passionate about like veganism and spreading the message. And like, he was just helping me make videos. It wasn't anything to do with business. And then all of a sudden it's just like snowballed. And we were like, wow, we can really like do this together, make this a lifestyle, make this long term. And
that's the best approach, not starting as a business like, we want to make money with that.
Yeah.
And no, it needs to be your passion. Thus, you keep going, even though you don't make that much money, the numbers go down, but you're so passionate about it, that's why you don't stop. In 2019, you can make a living with everything. So you better follow your excitement. Thus, you basically don't have to work another day. You work hard, but you don't work like things you don't
doesn't feel like
yeah,
work.
That's right.
It's just fun.
So one more question before we jump into follow-up questions, and that is, do you and Kyle usually cook and eat together, or mostly each one makes their own meals?
It depends. I mean, usually we eat the same thing. Usually I do the cooking because I like to cook, and
you often make content out of that, right?
Yeah. Kyle will like make meals, but usually we just eat the same thing.
Oh, nice. So you kind of then have the same schedule, that you're at the same time at home?
Yeah. Sometimes like maybe like breakfast and lunch can sometimes be different, or like if I'm out or whatever, we'll eat something different. But usually we're just at home making the same meals and doing the same thing. We're always beside each other, so.
Watching some YouTube while you eat?
Always. I'm always.
Best, right? Yeah. That's nice. Because when Scorpion and I, when we lived together, people found it so weird that we don't usually eat together and cook together, but we were both creating, content as food, and we don't want to create the same content. And I eat more, she eats more delicious. I just focus more on health, but yeah. It's nice that you also cook together, and you also go to the gym like mostly at the same time.
We
It's
literally do everything together.
just crazy. Do you have like some hobbies you have, he hasn't has, or he have some?
I mean, YouTube and everything has turned into my only hobby. I used to dance, and I think that's something, now that we're going back home, we're both going to be able to like have that time because we're going to be there for a year. Kyle's really into MMA and jiu-jitsu, so he's planning on signing up to do jiu-jitsu, so that we definitely need a little bit of time like per day where we just like kind of separate and do our own things and work on our own things. But yeah, I'd like to get back and just take a few dance classes a few times a week, because that was a huge passion of mine. And then Kyle's going to do some jiu-jitsu. But as of right now, we're always together 24/7.
How about watching YouTube while you eat? Do you also like to watch the same YouTube channels, or each one watches their own?
Usually now we each watch our own thing. But when we first started like dating, I was always at his house and we would just watch something together all the time. So, but now it's like separate.
What do you like to watch, and what does he like to watch?
Kyle really likes to learn. Like he always will like be learning something, like watching some kind of documentary, and I like to do that too, but like sometimes I'll watch like different vegan channels, or like I don't know, like sometimes like vlog channels, like family vlog channels, because usually when I watch YouTube, it's like the only time that like I have to like not think about what I need to do that day. So yeah, but Kyle's always into like learning documentaries, like
Yeah, I also adjusted to like what I'm doing when I'm doing something, and I don't really can concentrate on the thing. Then I put something where I don't really need to pay attention.
Yeah.
And when my mind is just full of stuff and I just want some entertainment, then I put something easy on.
Yeah, just zone out for like a few minutes.
All right, now let's jump into some follower questions. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Tips for traveling as a vegan: bring your own protein powder? Question mark.
I mean, most places now, maybe not 5 years ago, but now there's pretty much always gonna be some way to accommodate vegans. And if you really think about it, like you don't have to go to a vegan restaurant. Even if you're going to some remote place that has no vegan restaurants, they're always gonna have rice. They're always gonna have, you know, steamed veggies. You'll be able to find something. It depends on where you want to go. But if you are taking protein powder like us, we travel with our Vivo Life all the time. You just put it like in your checked luggage and it's good to go.
Yeah. Some sort of whole foods you find everywhere.
Yeah,
like Indonesian food, the best. Rice, lots of veggies, tempeh.
Totally.
So, and then you also get the experience of the local food, and whole foods, you find them everywhere. And then they're dirt cheap, the local food. Like
Very
rice
cheap,
and stuff. Other stuff like oats and other whole foods, they're not that cheap here, but some sorts of whole foods you find everywhere. And so for most places you don't have to meal prep for days, just go there and you find it. And
especially if you're eating like a more whole foods focused diet, you're not like, you know, relying on like vegan mock versions of things, like you'll be fine.
Yeah,
there's plant foods everywhere.
And you don't have to bring your own protein powder. Like I didn't, because I had any
you don't
space,
have to,
but it's just convenient.
Yeah.
So if I would have more space, I definitely would have brought it. And now that I see how beautiful it is to take also pictures with that protein, Axel, my friend, has some, so we take pictures with those. But you don't have to bring it.
You don't have to take protein powder every day.
No, you don't have to. It's just a convenient way to increase your protein. But many people, they tell me like, oh, there was nothing vegan, and I'm like, I don't remember the last time I had the situation where I didn't find anything.
Never. Maybe
it's just also a state of mindset that I choose to live in abundance, and that it's such a priority that I look in advance where I'm going to just vegan-friendly places, because they're mostly just nice places. Like here in Bali, I took the vegan heavens, Ubud and Canggu, because they have tons of vegan options, but they also attract this vibe where I just meet tons of like-minded people. And so just make it a priority to
do your research. You always got to do your research online before, and a really great app to find vegan-friendly places is Happy Cow. Happy Cow is our go-to when we travel.
Yeah. And what I do in advance, I also star all the places that are vegan-friendly. So when I'm somewhere, I just look at the map and know what's around, and I know which area is really good to stay in close, because there are tons of vegan restaurants. So be prepared, do your research, and you get this, honey. Next question. how does she like your vlogs? What she thinks about you and your content?
Oh, I was hoping I was going to get this question because I read the comments on some of your vlogs sometimes, and like I see the haters that are like, this guy is just like so weird, like he puts on such a fake show, like how can you be so positive all the time? Like, if you guys are listening and you have that as your thought, this guy is literally the epitome of positivity and good vibes. Like, he is exactly how he is in his videos. This is not fake, it's not pushed. Like, when I first met you, like everyone, when we first met in Veg Fest, everyone was just like, this guy is just like on another level. Like he's just always like, you're always seeking the positivity in life, and I think that's like so inspiring. And I love your vlogs. They're so entertaining and super funny.
Thank you so much. And yesterday, even though I was sick, you probably didn't even notice.
Didn't even notice.
I was really feeling not that good, and I still was like making the best out of it.
I didn't notice at all.
Yeah, because the sickness I won't remember, but having a great day is what I will remember. And
it's all about that mindset.
Totally.
You have a really good mindset.
Yeah, I just live by a couple simple rules. Like, for example, everything is fundamentally neutral, but what you make out of it. Nothing has a built-in meaning, but what you make out of it. And whatever situation I am in, I always make the best out of it. Mm-hmm. And it just makes your life so much better. And as I always preach, follow your highest excitement.
Yep.
And another big rule for me is what you put out is what you get back. It's like when you look in the mirror, you cannot force your reflection to smile. You have to smile first. And once you smile, the reflection has no choice. It's forced to smile back. And when you put positivity out in the world, if you put it all out, that's what you get back. What you put out is what you get back. And I'm living this law now for years, and it is so true. Even if people like they come off a bit rude and stuff, and if you just approach them with love, mm-hmm. that's what you get back.
Yeah.
It works like all the time. And yeah.
I love that analogy with the mirror. I've never heard that before. And the reflection is forced to smile.
What you put out is what you get back. It's a universal law, and I tried it in all, and now I do it all the time, in every circumstance. And what I put out is just what I get back.
I have a question for you. I mean, you're human. Like, you must have like bad days. Do you ever like catch yourself like in a really negative mindset or like feeling upset? And what do you do to change that?
Thanks, great question. You should be a podcast host. I actually don't have bad days, I just have bad moments because I never let an entire day get over me like, oh, today sucks, so the entire day. I have bad moments, but then I always turn it around. And I always try to see it in parallel universes, like different timelines. Like, for example, me and Scorpion, we broke up, and we crushed the stereotype that after you break up, you cannot be great friends. For me, each relationship is different, mm-hmm. and we're just so good friends, and we remain a great relationship. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that jealousy is something I wanted to master, because if you think about jealousy, it's so stupid. It's just, oh, she's mine, I possess her, no one else can give her pleasure. No, it's all about this egocentric, this, if you're not in a relationship, still having jealousy. So can I say that? Anyway, Scorpio mine had sex with someone else, and I thought about how would it feel to be jealous in like another body, like not in myself, but how would I feel? Just I'm not feeling that, but like another version of me, like and I didn't like the state. Like, that is just stupid. Do I go home now and cry and be like, no? She had a positive moment. Why shouldn't I be happy for her that she had it? And I didn't felt jealous once in my real self because I don't want to have the state of being. It's always I'm so careful about, because I live this rule. Circumstances don't matter, only state of being matters. So what state of being do you prefer? And I know before I choose a state of being which one I prefer, and I stay in that. And I went down the negative route years ago and being unhappy and depressed, and life just sucked. And once I choose this positive route over and over and over again, it's just so great. So I just consciously don't decide to go there. I have these bad moments, but then I catch myself immediately. Mm-hmm. I don't make this a bad day, and back to gratefulness, and just switch it around. And this catching yourself, just don't going down this rabbit hole where everything is bad, and catch yourself, state of being. What state of being do you prefer? And if you stay in a state of being that you prefer, your environment has no choice but to manifest. You build your dream environment. Mm-hmm. So I'm so careful in which state of being I stay in, and then you say yes and no to the right things. If you stay true to yourself, and then your environment changes and you just live in heaven. So it's all about state of being, and I don't have bad days anymore.
That's amazing. That's quality content right there. I hope y'all were listening to that. That's something you can really learn from.
But don't focus on perfection, because there is no perfection, and I'm far from perfect, but love yourself, who you are, how you are right now, and just don't focus on perfection. Just that's why I love the daily vlog. It's not perfect. It's not about each vlog gets better. No, it's daily. It's those ups and downs. It's embracing yourself, loving yourself, and just sharing your raw, authentic, real self. And don't try to be perfect, but love yourself. Here in Bali, I look so like shit. I'm super puffy. I break out, but I don't care. I vlog each morning. I just, before I look in the mirror, I vlog myself, because I love myself, who I am, and thus all the expectations, all the pressure, everything is gone. Because if people gonna hate on me, how I look like, or any of that, I don't care. I love myself, and anyway, I'm way too preachy, and I'm talking way too much.
No,
so we go back into
it.
your questions.
I'm like learning so much from you right now. I love it. I love it.
Because life is just too short if you don't live it to the fullest, and don't truly love yourself. That like, oh, how I look today will influence my day and what I'm doing, and if I will vlog, and if I do that, and then you always have so many things, so many circumstances that hinder you from just doing it. And what makes people so beautiful is when you see that they really love themselves, own who they are, and that just makes them shine. So yeah,
that's something that I'm actually like going through and working on right now, because when I came here to Bali, my skin broke out so bad, and it was like doing so well. I haven't been like wearing any makeup, and it was stopping me from making videos, because I was like, I'm vegan, like I'm supposed to be like this epitome of health, and I would get comments like, if you eat so healthy, why is your skin so bad? And like sometimes I would let that get to me. But yesterday, I came on camera, completely fresh-faced, no makeup, full acne face, and was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna enjoy myself. Like, I don't really care.
So proud of you.
I broke through that yesterday.
Yes.
I haven't posted the video yet.
Nice. Just post it.
Yeah.
And haters gonna hate. Don't listen to them, and embrace it. You know, I even focus on my pimples and give them names. Like I say, follow my temporary friends, and I give them names, and follow them on Instagram, but they're only here for a while. And yeah, that's great. Please don't let yourself stop from creating content. And people can relate to that so much more. Because, wow,
totally.
she's showing her bad side, her positive, just real. And that encourages people who suffer with acne, who don't look how they want to look, that, So, and because we just differ every day how we look like, and I had this too. So I wasn't always that way. I was like, oh, I only do pictures when I have a pump and when I look great, and I'm not gonna film myself without a shirt. And here I got super puffy in a bit, but I don't care. I put off my shirt and lose all the...
Drop the ego.
Yeah, in these pictures I look so good, so now I post nothing that is below that. I don't care. That is just, and then you're just so free to create whatever you want, and you have no expectations that when followers meet me on the CrossFit floor, that I don't look a certain way, how I pretend to be. No, it's just raw. It's just me. You get 100% me, and when you meet me, you know me. And okay, I'm stopping now.
No, I love it. It's like so what I'm going through right now, so it's perfect.
Will you be at the vegan camp out in the UK this year?
No, I won't.
I don't even know what it is. Can you guys compare living as a vegan in Canada and Germany? Love you both. How much would you say you spend per month for food?
I mean, you can go cheap, but like now, because food is my life, like I don't, like all I spend my money on is food.
Same.
So like we'll spend, I don't know.
I spend about 100 euros per week, so about 400 euros per month for food.
How much is that in Canadian dollars? I'm not really good with conversions.
Tanya, could you convert that?
I would say between the two of us, we probably spend like $800 a month on food, but that's like pushing it.
600? Okay, so a bit more, but for both of you?
Yeah, I mean, we
Okay.
shop in bulk and like,
Yeah,
I don't
me
know,
too.
sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less.
Yeah,
but-
and as you said, I don't really care how much I spend. I want good quality.
Yeah.
Because what you fuel your body is so important. It's not like a car that you can burn through the engine and buy another engine. No, you only have this one body. So nourish it well before you care about like what gas you're gonna put in your car or any of that. Focus on what you put in your own body.
Yeah.
And because how we feel every moment is all we got. We want to feel good because it just feels good.
Yeah.
So start there. Yeah, I think it's maybe it depends where you live.
And it depends on
Berlin?
the season as well.
Yeah.
Like for produce especially. Like winter, our produce is a lot more expensive than in the summer. But
Yeah.
I mean, like we shop at Costco and in bulk, and generally it's pretty good.
I think it's around the same.
I feel like we have pretty much like the same amount of like vegan options regarding like mock stuff and like vegan treats. Like especially in Berlin. I mean, like that's like vegan capital in Germany. So
Unfortunately, a lot of junk food, but many people are into that.
yeah.
And living, like rent, how expensive would you say?
For our last place, it was just like a 1-bedroom condo. It was 1,500 Canadian.
Yeah, rent in Berlin goes rapidly up currently, so it's getting quite expensive, but not that much.
Also, it depends where you live. Like if we
Yeah.
were to get a place in like downtown Toronto, it would be like double the price.
Yeah, and it's hard to say for Canada and Germany because it depends where you live.
Yeah.
Like Munich is crazy expensive, where I grew up. Berlin, more affordable, and the more you go out of cities, it just gets cheaper
Yeah.
and cheaper. So it always depends where you live.
Yeah.
What would you do if? What would she do if she wouldn't become a YouTuber?
I get this question a lot. And honestly, I have no idea. Like, I was into dance, and that's what I did after high school. But then I stopped dance to travel, and that was before I had even started YouTube. We went to Thailand for 2 months, and like, we didn't vlog or anything. It was just we wanted to travel. And I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to maybe go to school to be a teacher because I really enjoy like working with kids. Maybe like be like an EA, or yeah, I really don't know. Like,
Oh.
I always knew deep down that like I wasn't gonna go to university or college. Like, I've never been to university or college, and anytime like the thought of me like signing up or like applying to school, I was like, I'm just not gonna do that. But I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something different. Like, I'm gonna like make a living for myself by doing something different. And then it just happened.
Could you go back to a 9-to-5 job?
No.
No
Never.
way, right?
Never. Especially now with like, there's so many options on the internet.
Yeah.
You can be a freelancer working anywhere. Like, there's so much opportunity. And like, I think with the experience that I have now, like, I'm just so much more aware of that. Whereas a lot of people aren't. They're stuck in the mindset of like, you know, they need to go to school to get a good job, and then they end up paying a lot
Gotta do
of
what
money.
you gotta do. Gotta need a job. Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah.
And
So-
you always want to be your own boss?
No, I
No?
never thought that. Like, I don't think I have like that entrepreneurial gene inside me. I enjoyed working for other people. Like, I enjoyed having somebody telling me like what I needed to do that day. And sometimes that's something that I struggle with, is like being my own boss, like all the responsibility falling on me. But I really, really enjoy it now, and I don't think I could do anything else ever.
Not being your own boss?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I could do that.
Yeah, I realized it really early on when I never really worked a 9-to-5 for too long, just for like internships. But I immediately realized, also in school, crew projects, I always wanted to do them by my own because I'm such a creative guy, and that is hindering my creativity so much. And the things I went for, like creating infographics on Instagram and stuff like that, and family like, what are you doing? No, you cannot. And I just went for it, and I just had this total creativity, and day by day manifested what I saw in my head and could express it fully when I just had no rules and just learn by doing.
Did you ever go to college or university?
I still am,
Oh. Learn
but
something new every day.
I study horticulture in Berlin.
Oh, cool.
But not passionate about it because I don't learn the things I thought I would learn, and I'm more in there for the benefits of living, like cheap insurance, health insurance and stuff. I'm not sure if I will finish that. But I also studied online to become a vegan nutritionist.
Oh, cool.
And that is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
First, I started just to get more credibility in what I'm doing, but I learned exactly the things I'm interested about the benefits of a plant-based lifestyle, and I created lots of infographics about what I learned. We have scripts and all the sources are linked, so that's great. So, and I'm almost done. I actually, to the flight here, I did my final exam in the airplane.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm almost done with that. But basically doing social media full time and I recommend to people, don't study if there isn't something that really. First, when you're done with school, I recommend take a year off, just travel, just get a state where you don't have to do anything, and then just what do you like to do? Just do things, and even if you don't find things you like to do, you're still getting closer to the things you love because you're narrowing the fields. And sooner or later you find the things you're passionate about, and then a path will form and it gets clearer and clearer the more you follow it, and then you know which direction you're passionate about, and then see if there's something related you study that would support that, and if there's just nothing that goes into that direction, just keep following it. You don't need to study in the direction you and I were going. There's not really something on a governmental university that supports that.
Yeah.
Like the closest for me was horticulture, and I learned about factory farming and things I'm against. So so just keep going this direction. Learn by doing. In 2019, you can make a living with everything.
Totally. It's all about like gaining life experience. Like if you're in school all the time, you aren't really gonna discover yourself and discover your passion. So it's really important.
And for sure, for some things you need to study. Like if you want to become a lawyer, if you want to go to the police or go to medicine, you need to study. It's required. But for many things, there are no fields you can study that support that. And if so often, unfortunately, they're so outdated because when something, real life is changing all the time. But once it gets established in studying that, it takes like 20 years or something. Okay, I'm talking way too much.
No, it's good.
Next question. We got that. How did Maddie start her passion? How did you go full time? Lots of love from the UK.
Oh, lots of love right back to you. Like I said before, it wasn't like something that I really thought was gonna happen. It's just we started traveling and we went to Thailand. We were there for like the fruit festival, and that's really what like made me so passionate, was because we were surrounded with the people that were doing the thing that we really wanted to do. Like we were riding up the mountain with all of these people that were doing YouTube, and everyone was vlogging and everyone always had their camera out. So I just kind of like, I didn't feel like nervous to do it. I felt like, like that's what I was there to do. So that really helped me, was surrounding myself with people that were doing what I wanted to do. And then we traveled to Bali, and then we traveled to Australia. And in Australia, we actually got working visas because we had planned to get jobs and just make some money in Australia and just, not work at home for that year. And we got our working visas. We never got jobs. We actually sold paintball tickets for like 2 weeks and never made a single dollar because it was all commission based. And then we met this amazing guy in Thailand, and we were looking for a place to stay. We had no money. We didn't want to get a job. We really just wanted to do YouTube. And he was like, "Oh, I have a spare bedroom in my place in Australia." And that's where we were in all my videos in Australia, if you go back and watch from 2016. And he literally let us stay there for like 6 months and only charged us $1,000. And
wow, nice.
That's where we just were allowed, we had the freedom to just make videos every day and just do what we were passionate about. And then that's when my channel blew up, and that's when we were making enough income that we could, pay a little bit of rent and, get food, and we just followed our passion from there, and it all just snowballed, and now it's like I'm here and I'm completely like independent, can live wherever I want in the world, and it's crazy to me, to be honest.
That's so great. And it's not just follow your highest excitement, it's follow your highest excitement without insisting of a particular outcome, because you just you were attracted to fruits and those people and this environment, but you had no idea where it will lead to. So just follow your passions and without insisting of a particular outcome. But I had no clue how to get here. I just started. I just was so passionate about a plant-based lifestyle. I wanted to promote it. Found this tool, social media, where I can not just reach my direct environment but the world. Played around what kind of content I like. Just infographic, will it even work? Some exploded. I grew and just I had no plans. I had no particular outcome. I just followed my passion day by day. And for you the same, and everyone I meet, it's like they had no clue how they got there. They just step by step, just staying true to themselves, following their passion. So don't think like you, me, most people have like the clear plan how to get there where they are. It's all about try and error and following your path and finding it, and things just will show up. So trust in timing.
Yeah.
Get in the synchronicity state and just follow your passions.
And realize that, you know, like for me it took, 3 years to get to where I am, but for you it could take 10 years. But, you just have to grind. You have to love it so much that you're not going to stop.
And that's the thing. When you follow your eyes excitement, you don't stop because you're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And just trust in timing.
Life's short, so just do what you love to do.
Yeah. How do you keep your hair so frizzy? I don't even know this word frizzy. And when I read the question to Scorpion Mind, she was like, oh, frizzy, that's not a nice word.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well,
is frizzy a nice word?
no, it means like it doesn't look good.
Well, I think she means it in a nice way.
Like curly, like...
Probably, yeah, because like your hair has kind of a lot of volume.
Yeah.
So what's your secret?
Humidity. But actually, I used to straighten and bleach my hair all the time, like putting chemicals on it, straightening it, because I thought that's like, how my hair would look beautiful, and my natural hair wasn't beautiful. So I decided, screw that. I want to just be my natural self and let my hair do what it wants to do. So I stopped coloring it and I just let it be. I barely use, for like almost a whole year, I didn't use shampoo.
Wow.
I just let my hair do its thing, and I never knew that my hair actually looked like this. Like I thought it was just this frizzy, disgusting mess, but being in a humid climate and just, letting it do its thing, and I was like, wow, I actually have nice hair. And now I don't do anything to it. I don't use heat on it. It's all about being as minimal as possible, and I think that goes with like skin and everything. Like if you're using all these products and you're putting heat on your hair, like you're just damaging your hair. So just let it do its thing. And if you got curly hair, just let it be curly. Don't think that you got to straighten it to like fit in or whatever. Just let it be.
Doing less and get more.
Yeah.
So just let your hair do, and you get what your hair naturally looks like, and that's then you, and embrace that.
And honestly, like it took a while. Like it was like a few months where I was like, my hair is not looking hot, but I'm just gonna like keep pushing through, and eventually like it started to take shape because I had damaged it so long by straightening it constantly. Like it ruined the curl pattern of my hair, so it needed time to like repair and restore and
embrace your curls.
Yeah.
I love curls.
Now I can just shower and let my hair dry and it looks like this, and I'm just so happy with it.
Did you ever do psychedelics? If yes, how did it change your life?
I've never done any psychedelics. Honestly, I feel like I want to at some point in my life, but right now they scare me and I don't know why. And I don't know if that's something that I should like push through and just like do it. So, but I feel like if I have that mentality around it, I'm not gonna have a good experience with them. So I'm just gonna wait. I got my whole life and I feel good in myself right now, but I definitely think like I've heard so many people have had positive experiences and it's changed the way they like see life, and I feel like I have a good mentality around life, but I definitely think that they are really good teachers if you have the right mindset going into them. So I'll wait until I'm ready to do that.
Trust and timing.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, for me it was doing so much research before that, and then I just was so curious and wanted to make my own experience if that is really true what you're saying, because that sounded to me so exciting and life-changing. But I spent hours, weeks and months listening to that and educating myself, and because I trusted in timing and I was drawn to that, to watching that all, listening to that all, reading the studies that are done about that. So there might come up a point in time then that excites you as well. So
I think
just
it's
trust
more
in timing.
so It's more so like social conditioning, I think, that I need to like educate myself and get past, because we're all like ingrained, like marijuana's bad and all these psychedelics are bad, like they're not healthy, they're not good for you. Like you just see you see them as drugs and like a bad thing. And I think everybody like has somewhat of that social conditioning that they need to get past.
Totally. I was it my entire life. Like I learned from my mother, drugs are bad, stay away from them. Then I had a guy in school and he was like, actually not all drugs are the same. They're synthetic stuff we make that makes you hooked and that can ruin your life, like cocaine and heroin and stuff. But they're actually just plants or mushrooms. They're growing out of cow shit, or they're just growing. And we label them as drugs, but they actually been here long before we have been here. And we've used them to expand our mindset, to broaden our horizon as teachers in a mindful way. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know. So then he gave me some recommendations, like podcasts, like Aubrey Marcus, Joe Rogan, and the most profound one. He died, but he has many lectures on YouTube, and maybe you want to watch a couple. It's called he's called Terence McKenna, and how he can talk and how much knowledge he gathered from the mushrooms, because they're like teachers, and he experienced a lot with higher dosages where you can really talk to the mushrooms and get a non-human perspective on things, because he was like, we don't learn that much from each other because we're all human, but you get an extraterrestrial opinion on something.
Yeah, just seeing like that outside perspective, getting out of yourself.
And I listened to it all and I was like, is this all crazy talk? Or are these people really seeing something? Do they really have those visuals? Because I wasn't sure if people are just imagining things, like, oh, I can imagine anything and pretend I saw that, or I really close my eyes and see something. And then I was just motivated to have my first experience, if that is true. And I sound like a total drug addict, but I only had a couple mushroom trips. That's all drugs I took. And
you had a really good experience. You told the story in
London. Adventures,
and it's like your story just like makes me feel like comfortable. Like it makes me like excited in some way to do them. But yeah, you had a good experience.
I linked you later some talks from Terence McKenna. Just listen to a couple of his lectures, and then it's also like you don't really have to do the experience, but you learn so much how it is like, and just get a different view, an extraterrestrial view. And I was just motivated. Is that really real? Do you really have visuals? And it is. It's crazy. It's like.
But it's not like scary, right?
It's always your intention. So how would you go in there? But I had a bad trip, but it was a bad trip during that time. But it was so profound that I learned so much from that. But it's all about set and setting, and I was at the wrong setting. If you had people that don't know that you took some psychedelic mushrooms, and then you don't feel comfortable, and you don't let it out, but you act normal, and then it makes you feel uncomfortable. So the set and setting is so important.
Just be with people that you know, a comfortable setting, safe environment.
Yeah, and like that you didn't eat junk food before, that you feel good, and the right dosage. Like start with a low dosage, and the right environment. That is crucial, and then that you just embrace the state of being, because everything becomes so colorful, all senses are so increased, and you just want to explore, and you're like on the floor looking at the bug and all the details, and then when they're normal people, you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that, so you don't allow it, and then okay, what would my normal self do now, and then you try to act like that, and then it can become a bad trip. But anyway, do your own research. If you're drawn to that subject, I just recommend YouTube Terence McKenna. Let him talk. It is crazy, and it's just, I call it a permission slip, that you experience that once, and then you can recreate it in real life. Like for me, I only had like a couple mushroom trips, but I got so much more appreciation for nature, for details, for the small things I didn't really see, but once I had this trip, it all was there, and I never really saw that. And anyway, so many more things. It
just makes you more aware.
So much more.
Yeah.
And if you have some questions in your life you struggle to answer, on the state, it all comes to you so naturally. You laugh how simple it is. The mushrooms, they talk to you, and because the ego is dissolved, and your true natural self is talking to you, and then it's all so simple. And you see things, just they make so much sense, and by getting this visual, it just emphasizes it. You see your thoughts, or I saw it, and just in shapes, and it just this visual element I never had before. It just was, so many things were so simple and made so much sense to me, and I don't know. It's really, I'm really bad at describing the state. But no, I am. When you listen to Terence McKenna, you were like, he knows how to, because many people are like, wow, it was crazy, but they cannot really
put it into words.
Yeah, and he really nailed it. And I was at this point, is this really true? But then I experienced it, and I'm like, wow, this is true, and it's a permission slip, and I have so much respect for mushrooms, and I only do this, as I said, I only had 3-4 trips or something, so rarely, and I'm good for the next years. And then when I'm drawn to it again, because always go in there with an intention, don't just abuse them, but you can, because if you take them, for example, mushrooms too often, the effect just gets less and less and less until to a point where it doesn't work anymore. It's like the mushrooms telling you, chill down.
You're abusing me, stop.
Yeah, take something away from that, and you can also not poison yourself, because they're not poisonous.
Right.
So you just, if you take too much, it just gets so crazy that you might think you might die, but you cannot die from them. It's just mushrooms. Anyway, the last 3 questions, because I talked way too much.
No,
sorry again. I asked almost all my podcast guests. I asked all 3 questions at the end.
Okay.
Last podcast I forgot, I just remember, but now we do it. First one is, what scares you besides mushrooms?
Psychedelics. Honestly, I have this weird fear of the ocean, because I know how powerful it is. Like, I love the ocean, but I have this like weird fear of like being in the middle of the ocean. It's deep, I can't touch, there's sea life around me. Like, I think one of my biggest fears would be like drowning, even though I've heard it's a very peaceful death, but that's one of my biggest fears, being like lost at sea or something like that. Yeah.
When you imagine, like, if I would be in the middle of the ocean right now, I just would be dead. The nature is so powerful, and the ocean is so vast, and it's like 70% of our planet. And then sharks. Oh.
I know, sharks scare
me.
me.
We're also based on the movies. Like, you see them, and like, imagine being in that situation. And for example, tonight I had a dream about sharks, and yeah, it wasn't pleasant.
That's not fun.
Yeah. Anything else you can think about?
That's like the first thing that comes to my mind.
Best advice you've ever received?
Ooh. Best advice I've ever received. I've got a lot of good advice that has really changed my life, but something specific would just be, my parents were really good. Like, they raised me really, really well, and they always were so supportive of like supporting my passion, whatever it was. And I think just like hearing it from them, like both my dad and my mom, they always were like, just do what you love to do. And I distinctly remember my mom telling me, like, find something that you love and do it, and then you can make a career out of it. And she used to told me, like, she would tell me that from like a really young age. So I guess it kind of like, it works, Mom.
Supportive parents are a game changer.
Yeah.
Because when you're that young, you get shaped so much by them and their opinion. And often when you see people having a certain mindset, it's just they adopted from their family, and you can get out of that. But what I see so often, that people stay in that state of mindset their parents gave them, and if it's like that, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, for those of you wondering, my parents have always been very supportive of me and like what I choose to do, and I'm really thankful for that. And
what do they think about your current lifestyle?
They're so proud of me now, but at the beginning they were like, what are you doing? Are you just doing this for this boy that you met? Like, are you gonna go to school? Are you gonna do something real with your life? And then I was like, yeah, I'm making a few $1,000s off YouTube a month now. And they're like, what? You can do that? I'm like, yeah. I'm like the first generation that's like making an income online and doing this. So they're just like so proud, so mind blown. And
once you earn money with that, they're like, oh,
Okay, you're
for
good.
it. For me, it was the same. My family, they were like, what? You have to do this and that. And once I made a living out of it, and Mom, you don't need to send me any more money. She's my biggest fan. She watches all my vlogs, all my stuff,
Aww.
and she loves what I'm doing. So
yeah. My parents never went to college or university either, so they really had that mindset of like they really want, like I was their firstborn child. They really wanted me to like go to school, get a good job, make a lot of money, and then I was like, yeah, I don't really want to go to school, and they're like, what? What do you mean?
But it turned out beautifully.
Yeah.
What is the last question now? What is the future of veganism?
Oh, I think it's only, I mean, the past 5 years, it's just been growing and growing and growing, and I don't think it's going to stop. Like, there's so many people joining the lifestyle every day. There's so many more. Like, from when I first went vegan to now, the vegan section in the grocery store is, like, grown exponentially, and I think a lot of people are realizing, you know, it's the best thing that we can do for the environment. It's the best thing I can do for my health. Like, you know, like...
Don't forget the animals.
Yeah, of course. Like, they see, like, there's so much factory farming footage. I go on my Facebook feed, and everything is like, you know, saving the animals. Look at this. Look, this is happening here. And I think a lot of people are just really waking up now, and it's really cool to see. And especially, like, online, social media, everyone's helping each other out. Everyone is able to, like, see that message a lot quicker. And, yeah, I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's growing.
You know what James Espy said to this question?
What?
Well, domination, baby.
Yeah, totally.
Nice. So, thank you so much, Maddie, for being on my podcast. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. You're so awesome to talk to. You know that?
Thank you.
You're a really cool guy.
Thank you so much. And I cannot wait to follow your lifestyle, how your year in Canada will be, but I've no
Hopefully
doubt.
it's not horrible.
No, that I can tell you for sure it will be a super nice experience.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited.
Then after that you really know which lifestyle you prefer. Mm-hmm. And maybe it will just be a combination, like staying 3 months there, 3 months there, 3 months there, but finding something, a place where you can find good habits and make recipe videos and this videos, and I don't know, I'm just excited to follow you. And if you don't know Maddie yet, then make sure to check out her main thing is YouTube and now also a fitness channel. Yeah. And on Instagram, I love her Instagram stories, and just your videos are super nice. I love your recipes.
Thank you.
Clean, delicious, and especially for all my girls out there, check her out. And anything else you want to share?
I mean, that's it. Check him out too. If you haven't already, I'm sure you have because you're listening to his podcast. But man, this dude is amazing.
Yeah, so I'll link it all down below. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for the rest of my time here in Bali. And yeah, if you want to see that all, daily vlogs, YouTube/Vegains. But you're probably here listening to that anyway. So I'll see you tomorrow. And
peace out. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for doing my outro. That was great. Peace out. I love you all.